Test, test, test. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Let me know how we sounded. Let me know how we sounded. Had a great start to the week, and I was being nice in the recap yesterday. I didn't include the trade from Friday in the recap, mainly because I didn't take the trade. I wasn't still in it. But if y'all was in the live, you know what we're talking about. But we had a crazy start to the week. If y'all watched the Sunday chart analysis yesterday, or Sunday night, I should say, or if y'all was in the London session live yesterday, a lot of charts went as projected. GN went as projected. And again, this is why I always talk about, right? Again, I ended up taking this position. Remember, I was talking about how we was going to possibly see price break that level, then retest, then do the move. Again, just watched the live yesterday. I literally said this, right? How price was rejected that level, then it broke through, then retested, then did the move. Remember, somebody was going to look for a retest on this, and at this point, was looking to see if price was going to break this level or retrace back. That's why I always say stick to the game plan. Don't be in such a rush. Don't FOMO, because as we can see later on that day, going into New York session, price did indeed, in fact, retest this level and then blew through these levels into the exact move we was looking for, right? So GN went as projected. GJ, obviously, it was a holiday yesterday. GU went absolutely crazy yesterday. Literally flew all day yesterday. Gold went as projected as well. And then the only ones that didn't really do anything was NAS. NAS retested this level from Friday. But yeah, great start to the week, y'all. So we got a few subs we're going to be looking at right here. Also got a new video dropping for y'all later on today as well on YouTube. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. Make sure to go ahead and come up here and like the live, y'all. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We just hit 3,400 subscribers. We're right around the corner for 3,500. Yeah, we got a few subs we're looking at. We're going to wait a couple minutes for some more people to hop up in here. We're going to go ahead and start breaking some stuff down. But you already know the drill. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we look at your charts, drop them in the chat. Got a new 15 about to pop up in a little bit, but we're just chilling, patiently waiting right now. What's going on, my boy? I see you up in here. What's going on? What's going on? Those who joined the stream, we have not entered this trade yet. This is the trade idea. First, in the description, join the free Telegram. You see on the last one. Go ahead, that first link, and check it out for yourselves. We got GU retesting this level right here. So if GU can hold 34.15, 34.20 as support, we're going to be looking for buys going to 34.55. So that's what we're looking at right here. We're going to see if we can hold this level right here, look for buys here. Again, the reason why we went for buys yesterday was talking about buys last week, even when we had this retracement going down last week, because again, we're not chasing price. What I always tell y'all, I teach y'all how to follow the flow of price. So even when we had this retracement happen and this happened, at the end of the day, we're still in the uptrend, which is why we still look for buys. And then when we look at GU, we literally caught the entire move for the day by simply just following the flow of price. Literally, since we entered that trade on London session, during the London session live yesterday, as we can see, 4:35 a.m., 9:30 when New York session started, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, Tokyo session. Literally the entire day, price flew to the upside right here. So we're going to be looking at possible GU buys. We're going to look at possible GJ buys, GN buys. We're looking for buys on everything, honestly. NAS buys, gold buys. Everything's buys right now. Not looking for sales on anything at the moment. Now, as far as today goes, we do have 10 a.m. USD news. And then later on tonight, we do have 9:30 Australian news. And then tomorrow, of course, we got the infamous ADP. And we have a few other news events popping off tomorrow as well. It's going to be interesting to see what happens today before all that pops off. We're still going to be looking for some setups, though. We're going to see how this plays out right here. But as we see, GJ still just been ranging yesterday. So we're going to be looking for retracement on GM. And then we're going to be looking to see if GU can hold this level right here. Because if it fails to hold this, break this resistance, will hold that support, it might try to retest 33.70. We're still looking for buys. What's going on? Those just joining the live, we have not entered this trade yet. This is just a trade idea. We did not enter Telegram. You see on your screen how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check it out for yourselves. Start off the week with a bang. Broke this trade down as well as into this trade during yesterday's live stream. Caught a total of 115 pips from this move right here. We also had another trade from Friday that played out as well. I just didn't calculate that simply because I was in the trade, so I didn't calculate it. But another trade did go as projected as well from the Friday setup. But we got 115 pips on this setup alone, which is a lot on GBPUSD. A lot of pips to catch on one day on GBPUSD. But yeah, this was a beautiful 1-to-6 risk for ratio setup. I'm gonna have a trade breakdown. Not dropping today. I'm gonna have I've been dropping a lot of trade breakdowns lately, so I'm gonna switch it up. But I got another video dropping later on today, so make sure to be on the lookout for that on YouTube. Also got some posts dropping on Instagram and TikTok later on today, so make sure to be on the lookout for that. And make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Y'all see that scrolling at the bottom of y'all screens. Instagram playmaker_way, TikTok _playmakerway_. So we got GN retracing for us. Again, another reason why we don't want to FOMO and rush setups. So if GN can hold 24.65 as support, we can look for continued buys from the 25.60, 25.65. Again, we broke this setup down to yesterday's live stream as well. Literally every chart went as projected besides NAS100 and GBPJPY. NAS100 was just sleep. Retraced, did the same move we did on Friday. Now we're right back where we left off yesterday morning. And then GJ was Japanese holiday, so it literally just ranged all day, which isn't a surprise there. So we got that rejected. So again, we're looking for buys. So if we can't hold this level of support, we're just going to simply look for buys here. But buys is still the move either way when it comes to GBPUSD. But this is also why we don't go for breakout trades. We want to wait to see if price can break and hold a level. That's why I always say break and hold, because price can easily break a level, but it doesn't mean it's going to hold that level. You get what I'm saying? Price can easily break a level, but it doesn't mean it's going to hold that level. All right, so we're going to let these play out right here. We got a new 5-minute about to pop up in a little bit. Let me catch up to the chat right here. What's going on, my boy? What do you got up here? Some people tend to overlook you just because you're not posting Lambos or expensive jewelry, but amount of give you advance. Yeah, man. And like I said, I got jewelry and shit. I ain't got no Lambo, nothing. I ain't spending no money on a damn Lambo. But I got like jewelry and shit and all that. But like I said, like when I first started this page and was starting this community back in 2022, going into 2023, I made it my intention to, I don't really want to say mark myself. At the end of the day, that is what I'm doing. But to put myself in this type of light and space, right? Like I say it all the time. I run other social media pages on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. I go viral all the time. I also help other people with content. So like I know how to go viral in this niche. Even though this niche is a lot tighter and more specific than the other niches I'm in. But I don't want that kind of space, right? Because again, I could be at 30K subscribers, 50K subscribers by now if I did what everybody else was doing, which was every trade. If I titled every trade breakdown, oh, I just made $5,000 this trade. I just made $3,000 this trade. I just made $6,000 this trade. And if I add, oh, in 30 minutes, right? I can get views easily, right? But that's not what I'm trying to have the space be, because that's why there's a lot of confusion and stress in the community, because at the end of the day, like a lot of these people know what they're doing with the content they post. Like they know what they're saying, but not saying when they try to imply that, oh, I made this much or I made it in this amount of time. They're implying that, oh, if you learn from me, or you can do the exact same thing, which is why there's so many people. That's why I shout out the scalpers, but a lot of people aren't scalping properly or scalping for the right reasons. That's why, I always shout out the scalpers, but let that be known. Like, I'm not against people that scalp. A lot of people don't scalp properly. That's why a lot of people want to scalp though as well, because they see all these videos. They seem like you just open up your computer, be in and out the markets quick. But there's a reason why I title the things I title, and I never talk about dollar amounts. I always talk about risk reward and pips. And it's because, again, like the videos I make, the content I push out, I want it to be realistic and transparent. I also want to attract people that aren't here for get rich quick scheme or because they think it's get rich quick scheme. I want to have a community of actual successful traders and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just want to have a community or a bunch of people here because not because of everything but trading. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always just keep to the charts. I don't be trying to, get on camera, all that good stuff. But I do appreciate it. That's why I'm like, that's why I also don't really be pushing my shit. That's why I was like in yesterday's live, I was like, I'm not trying to be too, I don't be trying to be too spammy because I'm like, look, I break it down, I do this stuff live, I do projections every day. It's like those that got eyes will see. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to, do too much to show that I know what I'm doing, right? So it's like if you ignore me or you look over me simply because I'm not doing what everybody else is doing, but I'm actually teaching and showing results, that's on you, right? That's why I don't be tripping, because at the end of the day, I'm still making money trading, right? The playmaker's still making money trading, and the main reason why I started this was one, because I can't really talk to people in my personal life about trading and shit because they just don't want to hear it, or they just aren't interested in it, or they still are skeptical about it, whatever the case may be. So I wanted to find people I could talk to about it, as well as teach people, because I always say, like, all I wanted when I was coming up was something like this, someone that's like, okay, I'm actually going to teach you shit. It makes sense. I'm not trying to be flashy or make things over complicated. It's just simple and to the point. Again, on my bios, everywhere, in description, everywhere, also, I trading made simple because it's a lot simpler than people make it seem. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always shout y'all out to those that be in the live stream, because again, we see how many people's in the Telegram. You know what I'm saying? We got 2,000 people in the Telegram. We got 3,000 subscribers. Shout out to everybody. But and then we just look at how many people be tuning in live, let alone watching the replays. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always shout y'all out. And that's why, I'll give a little bit extra game in the lives, because I'm like, y'all actually showing up, which is better than what majority of people do, right? Because a lot of people just want things but don't want to work for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why shout out that be lives, because trust me, I know it's London session too. I know I don't got everybody in here that's strictly in Europe. We got people all over the world here. Those people, especially people that's American or in the North America or in North America, that's why I definitely shout y'all out, because I do that. Unless y'all are a night owl, because I'm a night owl, I've always been up late and shit like that. So London session was right up my alley, especially with the situation I had, when I was working 2 jobs. So this was the best for me. But I do completely understand that, depending on your sleep schedule, or if y'all aren't a person that's usually up at night, it can be a little bit more difficult. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, like, things are intentional. The way I post the content, the titles and shit is very intentional. I know sometimes it can hurt my views and stop my virality, but it's all good because, I am in no rush to blow up. You know what I'm saying? I'm in no rush to blow up. It's going to happen when it happens. But we got a new 15 about to pop up right here. Again, we're looking for buys on everything. We're just waiting to see if we can hold these levels before we pull the trigger. NAS is pushing as well, so we can see short-term buys between here and here, but the main level that we need to break and hold is 19,550. But if we can respect 19,470, we can see buys between here and here. But the main low we need to break and hold is 19,540. We could hold that as support. We see buys going to 19,700. I gotta add another level. I don't know what happened here. I gotta add. No, I don't. I gotta. I might have to adjust the levels in space. I think I dragged it on accident. All right, this is another reason why we want to wait for retest, right? Price did the same thing here that it did here, right? This level, retested, did a push, right? So here is why you don't want to just enter just because price touched the level, because now you'll be at risk of an unnecessary stop loss getting potentially hit, right? We're just 30 minutes in the London session. We had big moves to start off the day and the week. And like we talked about in the Sunday chart announcement when it comes to GN, we're still technically in reversal territory. Like I said, we have to hold this low as support for the uptrend to even come into play. So we still got a little bit of work to do, right? So we fail to hold 2670 as support. We can come back into reversal territory, or possibly, depending on how the volume and the rejection is, have the downtrend come back into play. So we still got a little bit of work to do, y'all. I want to see how today plays out, especially though, because again, we do have the infamous ADP and all that good stuff popping out tomorrow. But nonetheless, we're still gonna look for a setup nonetheless. But this was just when the patience comes into play, y'all. It's just like yesterday. We was live for like a cool hour. Y'all saw the GN move play out. Y'all saw how I stayed composed as when it was unfazed. And we still was able to catch a big move. And again, when we look at GN ended up retracing like we talked about. But because I was cool, calm, and collected, and I was focusing on high probability setups, we pulled the trigger on GU. And GU it's not a coincidence that this was the biggest move that played out yesterday, as well as the move we pulled the trigger on and entered in the signal room. Because again, it's all about high probability setups. That's all it is. And the more you're on the charts, the more you'll be able to identify those frequently and more accurately. You get what I'm saying? Let me see what else we got going on in here. And if I'm too far from the mic, y'all can't hear me, let me know, because as y'all know, I do have a habit. I'm a lot better, but I don't know. It's just like, it's weird because when I make the YouTube videos, it's not really an issue, but like on StreamYard, for some reason, I got to be super close to the mic. I don't know if it's because I'm live streaming versus just recording videos. I'm not really sure, but if I ever sound muffled or far away from the mic, just let me know. I don't want to take it personally because I get how it be. You guys got any questions? Drop them in the chat. When looking at any charts, drop them in the chat. Let me catch up to these comments really quick. See what we got going on here. It's quality over quantity over here. Exactly. Let them know. Let them know. Let's see. I messed. You messed up on GN, or you missed it? Did you miss the GN setup, or what happened? What's going on, Chanel? What happened with GN? 333. We got a new 5-minute about to pop up in a second. So again, y'all, we're looking for buys on everything at the time. We're looking at possible GU buys, GN buys, GJ buys, NAS buys, gold buys. We're looking for buys on everything right now. Stocks and crypto been going crazy, y'all. If y'all have not been catching the weekly stock, weekly crypto altcoin analysis, y'all are doing yourselves a disservice. We're up right now. Like we're stupid up right now. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I'm not even like we're stupid up right now. Woke up, check my portfolio. That thing's still pumping. Man, craziness. If y'all want some free money, I'm about to drop some links in the chat, y'all. I'm about to give y'all some free money. Let me do this really quick. All right, those that don't have any crypto accounts yet, or if y'all want to get some free money, better drop some links in the chat, y'all. Crack is giving $50 out for free. Coinbase is giving $30 out for free. If y'all use these referral codes and links right here. Can I not do? Hold on. I guess I can't put that big of a. Oh, I could. Well, I just fucked up. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. I done messed up. The whole thing right here. New 5 minutes just popped up. All right. Oh, that's why. Okay, I see what I did wrong. Let's see if that's better. Okay, I see what's good. Give me 1 second, y'all. I just gotta knock this out really quick. That's what I did wrong. You guys got any questions? Drop in the chat. We're looking at your charts. Drop in the chat. There we go. I just had to split it up. And I got some for the stock investors too. I just got to get the codes and get them lined up because I do got some apps for some free stocks as well. I just got to get those codes set up. All right, so we got GN retesting. I'm about to see if we can hold that as support. We got GJ still just chilling right underneath that level, and then we got GU rejecting. So again, if GU can't hold this level, that's completely fine. We're still looking for buys. We can see here that price never held this low as support here at 33.70. It was treating as resistance, then blew through it. So if we can break and hold 34.15, 34.20 as support, if price can retrace and maintain 33.70, 33.75 as support, we'll just simply look for buys there. All right, y'all. I like GN here, so we're going to pay attention to this right here. We can hold this level. Got a little bit of work to do. We got to see what we can hold right here. Let's see what's going on. Mic on point. All right, perfect. I moved my SL in too close and got wicked out. I waited until about 5 a.m. PST. Okay. So we fine. What's up? Hey, you get wicked out in profit though? Or was the stop loss when you entered too tight? You got wicked out in profit, like I said, there's ways to, when you review your trades, you can kind of figure out, was this still the right move or did I move it too early? Things like that. But if you got wicked out before the move happened, that's another conversation. All right, but we can talk about it. What was your SL and your TP? What was your entry SL and TP? We can talk about it. Let's see, we can hold this right here. here. Oh, not in profit. I moved it too early. Okay, so what I do when I take trades, and this is what I recommend too, but this is why I always you know, say like when you're I don't know your experience firsthand, but I'm just talking in general right now. So this is what I always talk about when you first learn how to trade, you gotta get an understanding of the charts and everything down, right? So let's say you gotta understand the charts down, and now you're experimenting and trying to figure out the sweet spot between SL, TP, entry, and all that good stuff, right? So one thing I always tell the members and students, your SL is your SL, right? That's where you're supposed to stop the loss at. You never want to move your SL from where it originally was placed at unless you're moving it in profit. If you're just moving it and you're in drawdown or you haven't hit any TPs yet, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? That's why, again, it's important to have the full game plan, right? Like I say this a lot, right? When we go live, there's a reason why I have my buy ideas, my sell ideas to the right, because before we go live, I already did my analysis, I already know my game plan, I know exactly where I'm looking for buys or sells at, I know what my stop loss is, I know what my TP is, and then before I take the trade, I calculate the stop loss, and then I know how many pips the stop loss is, which then tells me what I need to do to make sure I'm risking what I want to risk. Because again, believe it or not, y'all motherfuckers are lucky. Because back in my day, goddamn, we didn't have these platforms that help y'all calculate y'all's lot size. I had to do the math, figure the shit out the hard way. I had to do the math, figure out how to count pips. I had to do the math on how to calculate my lot size and how it was relevant to the pip count. Then I had to figure out how to calculate my lot size to risk exactly what I want to risk every single trade. Like I had to do all this trial and error shit. It was annoying as hell, but it was worth it because it helps me be able to risk exactly what I want to risk every single trade. Right nowadays, it's not that bad, but when I was back like a year or two ago, especially when I first was on the scene, a lot of stuff you hear online now that kind of makes sense. I was talking about, and motherfuckers was at my throat, reporting my accounts in my comments. I'm talking about big trade in my comments. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, this, that, and the third. But now everybody be talking about it now. But that's why I said, like, y'all's favorite traders be listening to me, but that's a whole nother conversation. But believe it or not, you can control how much you risk every single trade, but you can also put in exactly what you want to risk every single trade. That's why I always talk about, I'm in a trade, I'm not stressed, I'm not confused, I'm not tripping, because every trade I take, I know exactly how much I'm risking. I know exactly how much I'm supposed to make. If it's halfway, if it's all my TPs, half my TPs, I know how much I'm going to lose if it hits my stop loss. So the stop loss is where you're supposed to stop the loss at, right? The only time you should be moving your SL is if you're moving in a profit. If you're in a drawdown, you're in drawdown, doesn't matter how long you're in drawdown. If your stop loss didn't get hit, don't close the setup, right? So I never move my stop loss if I'm in drawdown to cut losses or to just get out the trade before it hits full stop loss. Because again, I know exactly how much I'm risking. And like we talked about yesterday's live, when I pulled the calculator out, what I'm risking is also not going to blow my account. I'm not risking half my account per trade. So even if a loss does happen, like we talked about yesterday's live, all it takes is the next winning trade to cancel out that loss and bring me back into profit. And because of that, then I can just simply focus on the flow of price, right? So that's one thing I recommend, right? So make sure that you're okay with what you're risking. You calculate your lot size and let that thing play out, right? Because again, we're investing here. That's why I always talk about go for 1 to 2 to 1 to 3 minimum ratio setups to cancel out those potential losses. But yes, we had a 100% win rate last week. Yes, we only lost one trade this month. But, losses are still bound to happen. You know what I'm saying? So every trade, I still treat the same way, even if we're on a win streak, because I know all it takes is a reversal or today for the markets to decide, you know what, I don't want to be in an uptrend no more. I think I'm gonna go into a downtrend now. Or you know what, I'm tired of being in a downtrend. I think I'm gonna go for an uptrend now, right? And so that's how I go about it, right? So if I'm in drawdown, I just be in drawdown, right? My stop loss gets hit. And again, the reason why I don't care too much about my stop loss getting hit is because, again, I know how much I'm risking. Most importantly, I'm okay with what I'm risking. And I know that the next trade, that loss is going to be gone. I'm going to be back up. But most importantly, I also know, okay, GU pushing back up. Let's see, gold pushing back up. So again, y'all, if gold can hold 33.20 as support, we could look for buys going to 33.44. And then if GU can hold 34.20 as support, we're going to be looking for buys going to 34.55. Right. So that's what I recommend. So why did you move your stop loss? All right. Was it because of what I said, or let me read back what you said, because I think you answered that question. You said I went SLN2 close, got wicked out, waited until about 5 a.m. Yeah, so another thing I don't do as well that's popular in the trading community that never made sense to me since the first day I heard it was moving it to break even. Now, I trigger a lot of people when I say this as well, but I'm anti-breakout trading. I'm anti-reversals trading, or strictly a reversal trader. I'm anti that, and I'm anti-break even, right? Because moving your trade to break even makes zero fucking sense. And let me explain why it makes zero sense. Because, again, just logically thinking, why, if I'm up 50 pips, 60 pips, 1K, $100, $500, whatever the case may be, why would I be up X amount of dollars, X amount of pips, X amount of points, and instead of securing some of those profits, I move my stop loss to break even? So if price retraces and I get wicked out, instead of making some money, I made nothing. But the argument is, oh, it's a risk-free trade now because I didn't lose any money. No, you did lose money. You was just up X amount of dollars, X amount of pips. Instead of closing while you was up or securing some profits, you let it all go back into the markets. And some people are okay with that, but in my head, that doesn't make sense. Like, I remember one time someone was like, "Yeah, okay, break even. Yeah, okay, I got without break even. At least it was a risk-free trade." I'm like, everybody's hype and happy. I'm looking around, I'm like, am I tripping? Because this shit don't make any sense. Like, why would you not? Like, I don't do partials, but I will move my stop loss and profit. Right. That's why members and students, every time a final TP gets hit, you know what I'm saying? That's why when a final TP gets hit, I'm always like, move that sell on profit or close, right? Every time a final TP gets hit, I'm like, move that sell on profit or close. And it's for that reason, right? That's how I don't do that break even shit. We trying to minimize losses, right? Stop loss is stop loss for a reason. That's why I always say, if you're risking 1 to 5% of your account per trade, you shouldn't stress about losing 1 to 5% of your account per trade, right? Because again, if we pull out the good old calculator, like we did in yesterday's live, let me pull it out. Calculator. right? We probably go to a calculator. If I'm risking 5% of my account per trade, I'll have to lose 20 trades in a row to blow my account. If I'm risking 2% of my account per trade, I'd have to lose 50 trades in a row to blow my account. If I'm risking 1% of my account per trade, I'd have to lose 100 trades in a row to blow my account. So if you're an experienced trader or anything like that, there's no reason why you should be scared of losing 100 trades in a row, let alone 50 trades in a row, and hopefully not 20 trades. You get what I'm saying? With that being said, if you know a stop loss is going to get hit, let the motherfucker get hit, right? Because again, the stop loss, I'm giving y'all some more game. The stop loss is that's why yesterday when that shout out to you, but when that person was in here yesterday asking about how many trades I call a week, or I had another week when someone was like, what's your average amount of pips per stop loss? That's why all that shit be fucking people up, because that's just not how shit works. Everything's situational, right? Your stop loss shouldn't be placed because, oh, I need to have a 50 pip stop loss every single trade. No, your stop loss shouldn't be placed here because, you know, I've even seen shit where it's like put a lot size, just put a random lot size in, but once you're at a negative whatever, then close the trade. That's not how your stop loss should be placed. Your stop loss should be placed where if price goes past that level, you was most likely wrong, and it's going to go the other direction. Right? That's what your stop loss is for. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if I'm in drawdown, I never move my stop loss up or pull it down. I just let it get hit if it's going to get hit. But if I'm in profit, especially if I broke past TP1, TP2 already, I'm not letting that winner turn to a loser. Right? I'm not letting that winner turn to a loser. Because some money is better than no money. You know, winner is better than, right? Catching 10 pips, 20 pips is better than losing 50 pips. But that's also why in yesterday's live I said to go for a 1 to 2 to 1 to 3 minimum risk reward ratio setup instead of all these 1-to-1s you be seeing online, because that'll help cancel that out as well. Because like we talked about yesterday's live, if I'm going for a 1 to 2 to 1 to 3 minimum risk reward ratio setup, right, which was, well, this is a 1 to 4 still, right? Let's just use this for example. This is a 1 to 4 risk reward ratio setup. If it was to only have gone halfway, I still was at a 1 to 2. But if you're going for a 1-to-1 risk ratio setup and only goes halfway, you're not even making what you're risking, right? So that's why a lot of people be doing this break even and all this other shit as well, because the game plan is not good. You get what I'm saying? That's pushing. We got to see if G and gold can hold these levels. Still waiting on GN and GJ to wake up. We got to just switch our attention to GU. Well, hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. All right, you guys got any questions? Drop them in the chat. Make sure to hit that like button too, y'all, because we give game out here. All right, we have the actual game over here. And again, make sure to explore the channel and the playlist, because this isn't just the day trading channel. This is an all-around investing channel. I show you how to make money both from the front end as well as the back end. So active as well as passive income when it comes to investing on the charts. I drop weekly stock, crypto and altcoin analysis. If y'all were watching, even if y'all found me last week, y'all should be up. Y'all and invested last week. But y'all been following me for the past few months. Y'all should be super up in profit. Because I was telling y'all to get into Solana when we hit $100. We hit 150 the other day. I was telling y'all to get into XRP when it was at $1.60. I think it hit like 230 yesterday. Don't even make me bring up the stocks. I got some stock updates for y'all this week. Like, we just been going crazy. We're about to see if we can hold this level. I mean, just think about it. If y'all would have got into Solana when it was at, and this is how I be telling y'all, this is how y'all beat these percentages. Right, so let me go because we're on the monthly on Solana. I'm gonna cut you to the chat in a second. I got y'all. I know at least when I go on a tangent, it's still information. But just bear with me for a second. All right, so I'm about to go into Coinbase right now and see what Coinbase is saying with Solana. Okay, so we're gonna go to Solana. Oh, I'm stupid up on Solana too. Goodness. But anyways, besides I'm getting sidetracked. Solana, and I'm about to show y'all the screenshot. This is what I mean by the percentages are off. This is what I mean by the percentages are off. And how you can beat percentages. Now, I'm not about to put, because I'm up a lot of my crypto, so I'm not about to show my crypto like I usually do. But I'm about to show y'all what I mean by, if you just simply follow the views and percentages, you're always going to be late to the party. Again, we're on the monthly time frame. The beginning of the month or whatever the fuck, let's actually go to it. Yeah, so April 7th, a week into April, we hit $95. I told y'all if we could not hold 125, we was going to see 190. I'm not 190, 95, $100 get retested. Y'all paid attention to that. Y'all could have DC'd and had a position here. So, according to Coinbase, right? According to Coinbase, Solana for the month, and it shows that it was at 95. But according to Coinbase, for the month, it's only up 17%. Now, the math's not mathing, right? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Because if I got in at $95 or even $100 and it went as high as 157, that's literally 50%. You see what I'm saying? So this is why it's important to read the charts and get in at the right prices, and you'll realize that these percentages are fucking inaccurate when you actually get in at the right prices. Because if I got in at $95 and it went up to 157, $100, 150, 100 divided by 2, $50, y'all would be up 50% right now. But according to Coinbase, it's only done a 17% gain for the month, right? So you see how the math ends up not mathing. And this was last year. Let me show you some photos from last year during the crypto bull run. By the way, I gotta do a chain link update because I'm stupid up on chain link too. But that's if you're not in a crypto telegram, if you're a member in the course channel or advanced play signal room, make sure to join the crypto telegram. I'll probably post the link again later on this week, right? But let me try to. So when we look at this shit right here, right? Look at this. It says for the day, it's only did a 6% gain, but I'm up 7% for the day, right? Because again, I'm getting in at the best price points. It says it's only did an 8% gain for the day, but I was up 17% because again, I got in at the right price points. So showing Solana, what I just showed y'all, and I'm showing y'all this, y'all can see how y'all can get huge gains and beat the numbers simply by following the flow of price instead of going off all this other bullshit, right? Same thing here. So it only did 6% for the day, but 8%. How am I beating the daily, weekly, monthly percentage gains? Because again, I'm jumping in at the perfect price points. Right. So for all y'all that be like, oh, you can't do this, do that. I just debunked all y'all hating ass motherfuckers, right? Because again, charts is king, right? So all y'all motherfucking TikTok people and some of y'all Instagram folks that be trying to talk about all that shit. That's what I'm telling you. All these people online, they don't know what to talk about. They just for views. That's why they get so many views. Like, because they just think about it, there's so many pages where they're getting hundreds of thousands of views and they're not giving you any relevant information. They're just telling you shit you could have found out on Google. Oh my God, this is the 30th day in a row price has gone down. Huh. Well, when we look at the charts during the quote unquote bull run last year, if charts were shooting up for 3 to 6 months, is 2 months of retracements something actually crazy when it was shooting up for 3 to 6 months? No. If we're in a downtrend, is it crazy? Or when we was in a downtrend, is it crazy that NAS100 was continuing to go down for another day? No, but these motherfuckers online are acting like this shit's some crazy ass, uncomprehendable thing taking place when it's very, very, very fucking simple. You get what I'm saying? But again, that's why a lot of that stuff gets pushed out, because again, if everybody knew how easy this shit was, nobody would want to do anything but this, right? So they can't make it too easy for folks. I like that retest right there. All right, that's just an example right there. Let me get back to the chat because I know I'll be going on tangents. Let's put that. I just wanted to show y'all, right? Because I say it all the time, but if I show y'all and then say it, it's a lot more believable. So when I tell y'all I'm stupid up on stocks and crypto right now, I am not lying to y'all. I just showed y'all Solana. Again, I'm telling y'all, if I'm not investing in crypto, I'm doing yourselves a disservice. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not investing in crypto, y'all do yourselves a disservice. But if you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. We're looking at any charts, drop them in the chat. But I catch you to the chat right now, y'all. Make sure to like the live and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. All right, y'all. 3,500 right around the corner. I dropped the Bitcoin. Did I drop that yet? Yeah, I did. Cool. All right, let's get it. Keep it pushing. All right, so let's see what G do for us. All right, let's see what we got in the chat. Yep. Yeah, that is the psychology part. So, and that goes back into, that's funny. I said this in another live, right? And I think it was in here too. So you probably remember. I think I said this like last week. That's also why I don't connect my trading view to my broker, and why I do my analysis on TradingView and then I enter on my other screen or enter on my phone. That way I can simply just focus on the charts, because when I was first trading, I did what a lot of people do. As soon as you enter a trade, what do? You stare at that red number on your screen. When, if y'all didn't know, I'm about to tell y'all right now, as soon as you enter a trade, you're automatically in drawdown. That's just how the shit works because of the spread. So you got to just focus on the charts. That's why I always say that you got to start on the charts. Everything is based off the charts, right? We take a trade based off the charts. We make money based off the charts. We lose money based off the charts, right? So the confusion is because of the charts. So every decision I make, from taking a trade, holding a trade, stop loss, TP, everything is based off the charts. And that's why I want to get y'all to be at. I want y'all to focus on the charts, and when y'all focus on the charts, everything else will make sense. Right now, of course, you still gotta have a game plan, discipline, and all that good stuff, but it starts with the charts. You know what I mean? And that's what I was talking about. You have to sit down and write that game plan out, like either on paper, on your notes. You gotta physically get that out of your head, put it in your face, and then start doing the math. And then when you do that, it's going to start making more sense for you. You're going to start trusting yourself a lot more, trusting the process a lot more. And, you know, you're going to start to see more results, because that's what I did. Because in the beginning, I was just doing shit. But when I actually put down my plan that I had in my head and it wrote it down, did the math, okay, if I stick to this plan, I make X amount a day. If I do this for a week, I'm up this much. If I do this for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, I'm up this much. And at the end of the month, I'm like this. And then if I do this for 3 months, I'm like this. And then I'm like this, and I'm like that. And then when you actually see the math and what can happen if you stick to your plan, that's going to help you stick to the plan. You know what I'm saying? But I only look at my, like right now, this whole time, I've not been staring at my broker. Only time I look at my broker is if I'm up in profit. I just want to look at that number on my screen because it is nice to look at. Or if I'm about to secure profits or close a trade. But besides those things, if I'm watching the trade, or like, for example, even with GU yesterday, like when we took the GU setup, I wasn't looking at my broker. I was looking at the whole time. The only time I went to my broker was once we like start breaking this level, and I was like, okay, let me do my stop loss and profit, or let me do this, let me do that. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not ever just looking at my broker. So I think that will help a lot of people out as well. So we got retracements and retests going on. Again, new 5-minute just popped up. Let's see what GJ is going to wake up. How am I feeling about gold? We're looking for buys still. Like I said, we're still bullish. We're still in reversal territory. We still have some work to do. Yesterday, like I said, we need to hold 33.44, 33.46 as support for the uptrend to continue. We failed to do so yesterday, but we are still bullish. So if we can hold 32.22 as support, we can look for buys going to 33.44. But we're going to still need to hold this as support, which we failed to do so ever since we've broken this level, in order for the uptrend to continue. So that is important to keep in mind when it comes to gold. We got a GN possible to push back up for us. So we got a few setups again. As far as today goes, we got 10 a.m. USD news. Then later on tonight at 9:30, we got Australian news. So we don't got too much going on today, but make sure to keep that time in mind. And also for those that trade Australian pairs, 9:30 tonight, make sure to keep those times in mind. But again, for the most part, we're just waiting for the time to pick up and see if we can hold these levels. Because as we can see, we've just been ranging, we're retesting, trying to figure things out right now. We're going to see what this next hour or two looks like. Got a new video dropping for you later on today. Make sure to be on the lookout for that. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, y'all. Y'all see you scrolling at the bottom of y'all screens. Instagram, playmaker_way, TikTok _playmakerway_. Post daily on both pages. And again, y'all, the Q2 sale is almost done. Today is the 29th. The month ends in a couple of days. Again, everything is 25% off. All right. So I was supposed to post it again, but I totally didn't, but it is. All right, but everything is 25. Where is it? There it is. Everything is 25% off. All the books are 25% off. Advanced Play Sooner, monthly, yearly, lifetimes 25% off. One-on-one sessions 25% off. The course 25% off. Everything's 25% off. Use discount code Q2 for purchasing at checkout, and it will automatically do its thing, y'all. But again, I got a bunch of books out for y'all. I got a few more lined up, but I got a lot of stuff on my schedule, so I had to put a pause to the other books because I still gotta get the course lined up. Like I said, there's a revamp. Some stuff that I still do the same, they will stay in there, but there are things that I do a little bit differently, or I do now that I didn't before. So I'm gonna be adding to that, adding those things to the course. I'm also gonna be revising a few things. And of course as well, because like I said, I do that at least once a year, because there's like anything in life that you do every day, you should improve and change it. So trading is no different. But where we at? Here it is. Yeah, but I got a few books out right now, yo. We got of course, the Infinite Price Action Technical Analysis Playbook. Again, this is what we used to catch that huge GU setup yesterday and avoid the fake outs or sell possibilities or guesses. Again, this is also what we use for the weekly stock, crypto, and altcoin analysis. This works on stocks for us option crypto. This shows you not just how to identify a pattern or a candlestick, but to never be confused when looking at the charts. And again, it goes over the rules of the uptrend, rules of the rules of reversals, rules of consolidation, what is needed for the uptrend to continue, what is needed for the downtrend to continue, the difference between reversals, difference between retracements and retests. I give real picture examples. I also link some videos explaining the method to the madness as well. I give y'all homework, quizzes in there. It's very, very, very simple and to the point. And like I was saying yesterday, don't skip through it. Read it in order. It's placed in the order that's going to make the most sense and help y'all out. It's literally step by step. See how this closes. Then, of course, we got the other one. And this one's just solely about investing. We got the planting seeds. Well, that's the wrong one. We got this one. Investing for beginners, planting seeds for a lifetime of wealth. So this one goes over investing, long-term investing, the benefits of long-term investing. I show y'all what y'all could have potentially made if y'all were investing 5 years to now. I give y'all a 1-year plan as well as a 5-year investing plan. And I'll give y'all a few more things in here as well. Then, of course, we also got the Trader's Mindset, Mastering Psychology and Risk Management Playbook. It goes over leveraging risk, mastering discipline, how to never blow an account again, learn how to trust yourself while staying cool, calm, and collected. I give you my trading plan in here. I break down trading psychology, the main issues with trading psychology, and FOMO, and also the solutions. I give y'all my trading plan. I show y'all again how to never calculate your lot. How to never blow your account again, and much, much more. And then, of course, the last one we got out as of right now is the introduction to Web3, the future of the internet, crypto, and how to prepare. It goes over the introduction to Web3, the history of cryptocurrency, major companies investing in crypto and Web3, how to prepare for the Web3 revolution, and more. Because y'all don't understand, gold and crypto are taking over. Gold's taking back over, but Web3 is the future, y'all. Again, cryptocurrency isn't no phase. Cryptocurrency isn't no thing that scammers use. Scammers do use it, but that's not what crypto is about. Crypto, again, all these altcoins, like we Google all these coins besides Bitcoin, these are companies. These are real companies. They got real people backing them up. They got real uses. They got websites. I'm telling you, like, just Solana, go to their website. Ethereum, go to their website. Solana, go to their website. XRP, well, Ripple, go to their website. These AI platforms, even the game, like these are real companies. I'm trying to tell y'all, especially y'all want to long-term invest, crypto's better than stocks. If you had to choose between one or the other, I'm always going to say crypto, because again, majority of the popular and best cryptos are cheap as hell right now. So you can make a lot more bang for your buck. You're going to get a bigger return on your investment versus you, like just for example, like a lot of these coins are $20 or less, right? So you're going to make a bigger return on your investment versus trying to buy a whole share or put $20 into a stock that's $300, $400, $500. You get what I'm saying? It's just math. It's just math. So we got a new 15 that popped up. Everybody see if GN can hold this level as support. GU still trying to figure his life out. So this was saying support, but struggling to break that next level. And GJ is still just ranging. So we got to see how this hour plays out. Let me catch up to the chat. Make sure we're not missing anything. What's Web3? So Web3 is what we're about to move on to. So right now we're on Web2. All right. So Web3 is going to be the new internet, right? Because again, for those that aren't 2000 babies, y'all was born in the 80s, 90s, y'all would remember the great shift from Web 1 to Web 2. Now, what was Web 2? Web 2 was the internet, right? Because again, if you was a 90s baby or older, y'all should remember the shift between when it was like internet and now it's Wi-Fi, right? Like how things are now, it was not like this in the early late 90s, early 2000s, right? Like 2005, 2010. The way things are now were not like I was back in the day. So Web3 is going to be the new thing, right? So that's why they've been testing things out for not even the past 5 years. They've been doing it a lot longer, right? Because think about it. A lot of stuff is already happening. A lot of stuff is already in play, and people just don't understand it. For example, remember how back in the day it would take 3 to 7 business days to receive a direct deposit, a wire transfer, whatever. But now you can get that shit the same day, if not instantly. What else can you transfer money on and receive it the same day, if not instantly? Money on the blockchain. So when you do some research and do some digging, some sources will say no, but they're lying. Zelle is on the blockchain. Cash App's on the blockchain. Apple Pay on the blockchain. Right? Stripe. Right? I pulled this up the other day. Watch this. Watch this right here. Let's look at this was during that quote unquote bull run last year, October 21, 2024. Stripe acquired the stablecoin platform Bridge for $1.1 billion. Why would Stripe drop a bag if crypto and blockchains and Web3 wasn't going to be the future? Why would they spend a billy to have their own exclusive blockchain? I mean, not blockchain, stablecoin. If crypto and Web3 wasn't going nowhere, right? What else happened last year that nobody's talking about? Let's see. July 30th, 2024, California DMV puts 42 million card titles on blockchain to detect fraud, track and manage their pink slip vehicle titles. What is this? Digitizes 42 cars. Why would California do that if crypto is? I saw this dude tomorrow. Oh, Bitcoin's just crypto's just a luxury asset. If this is just a luxury asset, why are states, big companies doing all this? Right. So a lot of stuff is going to be moved onto Web3 and the blockchains, which makes things digitized, right? Because again, like I said, these altcoins aren't just coins; these are real companies. Stocks are going to be going into the blockchain too. Like if you guys got Kraken, you can now buy stocks on Kraken. If you guys got Kraken, gold is on the blockchain now. You can literally buy gold on the blockchain now. Pax G. So basically, they're fusing a lot of things together. So it's going to be. That's also. I don't want to get too deep on here, but if things go how they want it to go, it's going to be. That's why people are talking about a recession and shit. I don't know about a recession, but it's going to be a new industrial revolution happening if things go the way they want it to go. Scary, you got to be prepared. That's why I've been stressing get into these coins. There's a reason why. Again, just reading the charts. This goes back to the charts, right? Let's pull up Tesla, for example. I just like using this example, right? Like I said, I can't go too deep on here, but let's just use Tesla as an example. Again, if y'all have the playbook or y'all understand how price works, this will make sense. So let's go back to 2021. This is when Tesla first broke these all-time. Well, this is when these were the all-time highs, right? 2021. Now, again, if price can't break a resistance level and hold it as support, what is going to happen? It is going to reject. We can clearly see that happening here. Price could not break resistance level, hold that support, so it rejected, right? So when we look at Tesla, it made all-time highs, failed to break this resistance level, so it did what was naturally going to happen. If price can't go up, it's got no other choice but to go down. So then when we rewind or fast forward, then rewind to the quote-unquote bull cycle last year, Q4, what happened? We made new all-time highs, broke the same resistance level, but failed to turn that resistance into support. And again, if price can't break a level and turn it from resistance to let's go back to G. Like that one better. If it can't break that resistance level and turn it into a support level, what is going to happen? It is going to reject and retrace. So when we look at Tesla, what happened? It failed to hold this level as support. So what happened? It rejected and retraced. And what was happening when this was rejecting and retracing? Oh, motherfuckers are setting Teslas on fire. Oh, fuck Elon. Right? All those protests and shit. And they said that's why price retraced. But simply understanding how price works, that's too much of a coincidence, right? Then when you really start to look at all these other stocks and all these cryptos, you'll see that literally all these stocks and cryptos approached, if not broke, the all-time highs at the same time. And by all of them, obviously not all of them, right? Because some of them, they're like for staking, which is like straight, like just mostly ranging in liquidity. Those are exceptions to the rule, right? But we look at like Bitcoin, for example, XRP, for example, Solana, for an example, Ethereum, and then we look at MicroStrategy, we look at Tesla, we look at Meta, we look at Apple, we look at all these stocks, right? They all broke or approached the previous all-time highs at the same time. And then what happened right after we did that, right? Trump got into office. And then what happened? All this tariff shit happened, right? So coincidentally, when all this tariff and trade war shit happened, it just so happened to be at the same time when all these fucking charts approached or broke all-time highs and failed to turn that resistance into support. So when you really start to learn how to read the charts, you realize that a lot of this shit can't be all a coincidence, right? But like I said, I'm not gonna go too deep on it, right? That's just some food for thought, right? I'm gonna let that marinate in y'all's minds. Okay. So same thing with crypto. Crypto was approaching all-time highs. Bitcoin broke all-time highs. And again, if y'all go to the crypto playlist, y'all see that literally before Bitcoin hit 100K and when Bitcoin hit 100K, if you watch the Bitcoin 100K video, matter of fact, I'm just going to drop it into the chat right now, right? Because I know somebody out there is going to be like, yeah, you're lying. Even though I could look at the proof, you're lying. So let me just go ahead and make everybody's life easier. All right, let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that video really quick. But and this is also the same reason why I don't watch any news events. I told you, it wasn't until last year that I found out Powell wasn't a woman. I thought Powell was a woman this whole time. It wasn't until last year that I found out what Powell looks like. I don't watch any news events. Anyone that be in the New York Lives behind the scenes with me, y'all know we don't go and watch the news. But somehow every day, every week, I'm still able to project most times not only the direction price is going during the news, but what price is going to do the entire day by simply just reading the chart. Right? Where the fuck is this? Let's see here. Let me see. Let me find this video really quick. Right, so I'm about to show y'all what I mean, right? So we got this right here. I'm sending some screenshots so y'all can see what I'm talking about. All right, because there's no cap in my rap right here. I'm about to show y'all that I tell y'all I really do this shit. I really do this shit. Shout out to y'all that be disliking my videos. That should be making me laugh. How the fuck y'all gonna dislike a video when I like? It's hilarious. Y'all motherfuckers dislike the video when I told y'all Bitcoin was about to retrace, but Bitcoin retraced. And I know y'all motherfuckers that dislike that video are probably like, damn, he was right. Give me 1 second. Nah, because like I always tell you, there's no cap in my rap. We really do this shit over here. All right, so I got the receipts now. Now I just send the photos to myself. Yeah. I like the live, y'all, because this is some nobody else is breaking this shit down. All right. So all you got to do is go to the Bitcoin analysis playlist. That's all you got to do is go to the Bitcoin analysis playlist. And when you scroll down to when it says Bitcoin is about to hit 100K, right? That was right before Bitcoin was about to hit 100K. Then we see the next video. I said Bitcoin is about to make a huge move. And this was after Bitcoin hit that 100K. Oh, no. Yeah. And then you see the third picture is when I started to show y'all that the retracement was going to happen. And I said, again, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. You see the thumbnails after Bitcoin just hit 100K. I immediately went from this thumbnail to showing y'all that the retracement was going to happen. And if y'all watch that video, I said y'all are late, but it's not too late. Right? Again, this was November 2025. Bitcoin's about to hit 100K. Bitcoin's about to make a huge move the next week, right? The next week after that, I started to show you again. You see where Bitcoin's at? I started to show y'all that retracement was going to happen literally before it happened in December. Again, November, December. What happened after that? Again, I said we can't hold 100K as support. We're going to go down. What happened? We went down. What would have happened? Y'all bought here. Y'all had 3 months to buy at 80K. Y'all be up right now. But now you're about to the next week or two. Everybody talk about crypto again. And again, what happened here? Price. Same shit we're talking about. These were the previous all-time highs. Price rejected, failed to hold this as support. Later on, price broke that level, held that support, flew through it. Now let's see if we can hold this level. Hold it. So again, all this shit's happening is all part of the plan. That's why I was telling y'all, buy this shit while it's cheap. Don't listen to these motherfuckers try to fear monger you away, because y'all are going to be upset just like every single time a stock or crypto retraces. Y'all be like, oh, it just retraced. Oh, I'm not going to buy it. But then when Bitcoin's back at 60K, oh, I'm going to buy it again. Oh, Bitcoin's at 90K, oh, I'm going to buy it now. But when it's cheap, I don't want to buy it. That's not how y'all make money. You buy when things are on discount. That's how you make money. Let's go like this. We hit 2.1. I think we just hit 2.1. But like I said, I can't go too deep on here. But those that's getting it, it's getting it. I'm about to catch you to the chat in a second. But Web3 is the future, y'all. That's what I said. All right, I go. I might do a TikTok live just talking about crypto. We'll see. But when I tell y'all, I got a video dropping this week too, where Trump himself. I'm not going to spoil it. I got Trump himself confirming what the fuck I'm talking about. But that's for another day. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, because that's going to be dropping sometime this week. GJ's pushing up. Let's see if we can hold that level. GN, respecting that as support. Gold still chilling. Let's bring that as 100 back to us. But when I tell y'all to learn how to read the charts, y'all just saw this, and y'all still don't want to learn how to read the charts, I don't know how else to convince y'all. But because of the chat, see what y'all talking about. All right, cool. So yeah, Web3 is the new version of the internet. How they're gonna have things going, right? A lot of things are going to be on the blockchain. Like I said, they already moved things on the blockchain. Y'all know how y'all go on Google Maps and you'll see pictures of the front of your house or apartment complex, and sometimes you might see your car out there, and you're like, who the fuck took this picture? You ever been on Google Maps? Y'all see how there's photos of your house or apartment or these public buildings? You ever wondered, like, who took these photos? Especially like if it's like a house, like my brother's crib. And that's how I know this shit's recent, because my brother's crib got a picture of, because he hasn't been here too long. He's been here for like a couple years, like maybe 2-3 years. But his address got a picture with his garage open, his SUV outside, broad daylight. Like, who's taking pictures broad daylight of this shit? But let me show you who's doing that. Let me pull out. Hold up, y'all. I gotta get another screenshot 'cause I'm about to show y'all some shit. That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all just gotta spend a couple hours a day instead of scrolling on whatever y'all be scrolling. Y'all gotta spend some time looking into this shit. You'll be shocked what you discover. Let me show you something. I'm about to show y'all some shit. Let me show you something. So all y'all saying, "Oh, crypto ain't nothing," I'm about to show y'all something right now. I'm about to show y'all something right now. Give me 1 second. About to show y'all some shit right now. All right, I'm about to send it to me right now. Where we at? So again, like I was saying, y'all go on Google Maps. You ever wonder how there's pictures of your front house or apartment, like somebody was just right in front of your crib, all in y'all's personal space taking photos? Let me show you that shit. So we got all these charts that are retesting, so we're gonna let them do their thing. Let me show you this shit. This is a crypto. This is a cryptocurrency. This is what I mean by it's not just a coin. This is real. These are real things. This is the coin Honey. And I've talked about this before. What is Hive Mapper? Hive Mapper is a decentralized global mapping network that was initiated in November 2022. It provides compensation to contributors for collecting high volume 4K street level imagery using dash cams through a drive to earn model. The dash cams used are a combination of a camera that records street level imagery and a blockchain mining device. Users who operate these dash cams are compensated in Honey, iMapper's native cryptocurrency. The project seeks to create a global digital street level imagery map and keep track of physical changes around the globe over time. How does it work? It operates by leveraging a vast number of people who drive extensively during their day-to-day job, collect street-level imagery. Uh, they also receive compensation for mapping unmapped roads and for updating old data. What are the potential use cases? Like I said, they're using this right now. They've been using it since 2022. High quality maps are crucial for public and private enterprises, including the transportation and logistics industries, as well as sectors such as insurance, real estate, utilities, and government. Let that sink in. And here's another one I've told y'all about before, Helium Mobile. Y'all probably, I don't know, if y'all on the West Coast, y'all probably see this when y'all be walking in the streets or plazas. Helium Mobile provides cellular service through it. So if y'all ever go into the Wi-Fi, y'all see something that say Helium. That's what this is. And this, I see this on my phone. I'm on the West Coast right now. I see this every day when I'm in the city and out and about. This is real life. Helium Mobile provides cellular service through its decentralized wireless infrastructure. So they got Wi-Fi on the blockchain. They got cellular service on the blockchain. They're paying motherfuckers to take dash cam photos. That I'm telling y'all, everybody thinking crypto's this and that. Crypto is happening and it's being used. It has been being used under everybody's noses, and nobody fucking knows, except those that know. So when I tell y'all that crypto is the future, Web3 is the future, I'm telling y'all, like, we're in the future right now. But of course, there's still some things, paper-wise and legalities that still got to be signed and stuff like that. But that's also why Trump was like, I'm trying to make America a number one crypto hub. And that's also why, you know, he was shaking hands and teaming up with Elon Musk. And again, Elon Musk, you wanted to name that thing Doge after what? Dogecoin. And who was the one that made Dogecoin popular? Elon Musk. Telling y'all, shit's about to get real, y'all. Trying to tell. Shit's about to get real. Shit's about to get real. So y'all need to get y'all some crypto. I need to get y'all some crypto. All right, y'all. But some of those cars also, well, the Google cars, they also got the thing called Waymos, which are autonomous driving cars as well. So they have cars that nobody's driving. They'll pick you up, drop you off, all that shit. Like, so sometimes you'll get them if you order Uber and Lyft. There's literally a website, an app called Waymo, where you can literally get a self-driving car today to pick your happy ass up and take you to and from wherever. It'll stop at sign. Like, I'm telling you, like, the future is happening right before us right now. But everybody don't understand what's happening. Or everybody just wants to keep on pushing off as, oh no, it's, you know, it's not happening. It's just, I'm talking about this shit is real life. This shit is real life. Well, let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, man, like I said, like if I was talking about crypto, we'd be here all fucking day. I'm gonna have to have like a exclusive live talking about crypto and all that stuff. Now I'm also going to not sit here act like I know everything because I don't. But I know what I know. I know what I know, but I'm not gonna sit here act like I know everything. But when I tell y'all, shit's happening in real time. This is real life, y'all. I mean, they got ATMs where you can. They got Bitcoin ATMs right now. And America's, all honesty, is behind. There's a reason why we're behind because that's a whole other conversation. We're not going to get into that. But all these other countries, they already been doing this. They've been hip. They were doing this before COVID 2020. They were doing this 2020, pre and post 2020, right? That's one of the reasons why XRP had a lawsuit, because other countries were using XRP or trying to use XRP as their currency. Like they're trying to get rid of their bullshit currency in their other country where, you know, $1 is 1,000, whatever the fucks, and they're trying to use XRP as their main currency. There's other countries trying to use make their own crypto coin. Like that is why, man. Y'all want to know why out of nowhere y'all's banks are now trying to give y'all 3-4% APY when for the longest they're only giving y'all 0.5%. You want to know why you keep on seeing Robinhood, y'all's bank accounts, all these people talk about, oh, we'll give you 4% APY. Why 4%? Why 3%? Where did this number come from when for the longest you're only giving y'all bullshit 0.5% APY? Let me tell you why. Because of the US dollar stable coin. Right now, on any crypto app or even y'all's bank accounts, y'all can get 3 to 5% APY just by having money in the US dollar stable coin. So when I tell y'all that y'all shit's on the blockchain, y'all don't even know it. Y'all shit's on the blockchain, y'all don't even know it. If crypto was going nowhere, why the hell does PayPal now got a stable coin? Trying to tell y'all, everybody knows what's going on except the people that need to know what's going on. When everybody be complaining about, oh, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, this is why. Because again, just like that video I posted on Instagram and TikTok, you got millionaires lying to people, laughing at people, belittling people, trying to convince y'all to not invest. If y'all didn't see that video, it's on my Instagram and TikTok. It's on my Instagram and TikTok. This dude that's a millionaire, Miami penthouse living, literally was laughing at people talking about, oh, y'all shouldn't invest. Now, let me, man, let me show you. I ain't see this video, man. I'll drop it on. I'm about to put it in the YouTube chat right now. This is on my Instagram. Just watch this video, y'all. And I literally showed a screenshot of me calling him out under his video, and he agreed with me, but then tried to over-exaggerate shit. Right? He was basically talking about some, oh, you shouldn't invest because you're not going to make any money. What, are you going to invest $500? Ha 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 ha. You're not going to make any money. And I was like, bro, like, you're still going to make money. Like, why are you lying? He was like, true, but he literally said, unless you have $1 million, it's a waste of time investing money. That is the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. But because this dude has 1 million followers and he's got a penthouse and he's got all these cars, people are just gonna blindly listen to him when he just gave y'all the worst advice ever at a time like this. And again, there's a reason why he talks about it at this time, because everything is dirt cheap right now. Then he proceeded to talk about some, after I called him out in his comments, was like, yeah, but you know, it would take like 30, 40 years to, I'm like, you just lying. Again, they don't want everybody to get into their bracket or be successful, which is the exact reason why when motherfuckers started making bread day trading, America stepped in and started making us have to use regulated brokers and all that shit. Because again, if everybody knew how easy it was to make money and that you didn't have to bust your ass all day and deal with people you don't like and be told what to do all day and, be a fucking slave and shit, nobody would want to work. So they gotta make it seem like it's some mystical thing and, you can't predict the markets and, it's only 99 or only 1% of people succeed and, only the elites can invest in all this. I can't tell you how many times I went past the post of people complaining about the stock market crashing like they got stocks. Like, aren't y'all just the same people upset or in the comments? Is it too late to buy? Can I buy? Can I buy? As soon as shit retraces, then you're complaining about how shit's cheap. How does that make any fucking sense, right? Then when I come and tell people shit, my page gets reported, my lives get suspended, motherfuckers in here I see online. Then there's a reason why all these pages that do nothing but fearmonger get all these views and are viral, because again, that's the mindset they want people to have. They want people to think, oh, only the rich people can stake coins or receive dividend payouts, or it's impossible to make money investing, or unless you have a bunch of money. That's the same thing with day trading. That's why everybody be so obsessed with prop firm accounts, because they're thinking, oh, I can only make money if I have $100,000, or if I have 200K. That's the only way I can make money investing in day trade. I'm like, I'm telling y'all. This shit's about to get real, y'all. You know shit's real when the rich people come out and try to convince and gaslight y'all to not invest. That's how you know shit's cheap. That's how you know people are getting a bag and making a bag, when the rich people are coming out trying to convince y'all not to invest. And the crazy thing is, when y'all watch that video, he's even talking about how he's investing. But don't you invest though, because you're not a millionaire. telling y'all this shit. You really start thinking about this shit. A lot of these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Well, they know what they're talking about, and they're trying to set y'all up for failure. Yeah, so we got a new hour about to pop up, y'all. Again, we got a couple news events today. We got 10 a.m. USD news, 9:30 Australian news. I did clear up some time today, so knock on wood. I'll let y'all know when I do go live. But I plan to go live today on TikTok. Chop it up with y'all, break some stuff down, all that good stuff. I'll let y'all know if I do go live. I'll send the notification out. I do got a couple things, but if I finish up early, I'm probably gonna go live around 11ish. We'll see though. All right. But shout out to everybody in the live, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's been alive since the beginning. Shout out to everybody that's been alive since y'all joined. Make sure to hit that first link in the description and join the free signal and free Telegram, y'all. If you're interested in how to identify these levels, the signal service or the mentorship programs, make sure to hit those links in the description. Again, everything is still 25% off. Use discount code Q2, quarter 2, Q2 before checkout and purchase. Yeah, I got a new video dropping for y'all on YouTube today, though, so make sure to be on the lookout for that. That's going to drop in the beginning of the New York session. Also got some posts on Instagram and TikTok for y'all this today as well as this week. If you want to contact me directly, y'all can DM me on Instagram, Telegram, or TikTok. I respond to all messages. And yeah, we'll be back at it same time tomorrow. London session 3 in EST. They want to keep exactly that's what they want to do. They want to keep us up the game. And like I said, I got a video. Like y'all can say what y'all want. I'm not about to get into the politics. I'm not about to get into feelings. Y'all can say what y'all want about Trump. I'm not going to say he's perfect, but one thing Trump don't play about is money. He is a businessman. Like I said, I got a video he's dropping today or tomorrow when he's literally telling y'all, I'm trying to help y'all motherfuckers out. I'm trying to make us all a bag right now. But like I said, that's the whole other conversation. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about him, but the motherfucker's a businessman. He's about money. All right. Everything else aside, there's one thing he's going to do. He's going to make some money and help folks make some money if y'all pay attention. But again, everybody wants to complain and cry and attack him. I'm not going to say there's no reason to. I'm not going to say there's a reason to or not to. But I'm saying put all that bullshit aside. And we just talk about the investment side and the business side. There's a method to madness, and like I said, he's about to make some shit pop off, right? Money wise, like I said, all the other shit I don't give a fuck about, right? Because I don't know the dude. I'm not gonna read him. I'm not gonna run into him at the corner store tomorrow. I don't give a fuck, right? But when it comes to money, the motherfucker don't play about when it comes to money. All right, so talking about that motherfucker cold, bro. When it comes, he's done some questionable shit. Like, we're not gonna get into that, y'all. But all I'm gonna say is look into what he did with the golf course. Like that motherfucker knows every loophole possible. Some is kind of questionable, but that motherfucker, like I said, when it comes to money and business, that motherfucker know what he doing. All right. And like I said, I got a video when he's literally talking about the stock market and how y'all see the video when I got it. All right. But yeah, y'all, the moral of the story is don't believe the hype. Ignore the fear mongers. Get y'all some crypto, y'all. Y'all see what it's been doing for the past 3 weeks. Y'all seen what it's been doing this week. Again, y'all want to not wait for things to already increase in value to buy. You need to buy when things are on sale, right, ladies? Right? Y'all be having sales out the ass, bro. I ain't never gonna wear y'all shit, but y'all should be on sale all the fucking time. So when y'all see a fucking 80% off sale, y'all clutch your pearls and scream and run out the store in the mall. Oh my God, this shit's 80% off. I gotta get out of here. This is a scam. No, you say, oh shit, this purse, this heels, this shirt, it's 80% off. I got to get this shit. right? Fellas, video games or shit's on sale or food or whatever, guns, whatever, right? Y'all don't run or close the store or whatever the fuck when you see something 20% off, 30% off, 40% off, 50% off. No, you say, oh shit, that's a steal. I gotta get that, right? When you're in the grocery store, what do they put to let you know shit's on sale? A red sticker. But when the markers are red and everything's on sale, people don't want to buy. But then as soon as things go back into green, then they're like, damn, I should have bought. Damn, is it too late? Can I buy? Can I buy? Right? It's very backwards. When it comes to things we can actually make money on, we don't have the same logic or mindset versus when it comes to things that ain't gonna make us money, but we spend money on. You get what I'm saying? Very interesting how they got us set our mindset up. But again, this is why y'all here. It's called a playbook for a reason, y'all. All right, y'all. So it looks like GU is still trying to figure his life out, but GJ and GN look like they're about to do a nice push for us. We're about to see how those play out. Yeah, I like how you're looking right here. Like I said, GN's got a little bit of work to do. It's going to have to hold a little bit of support for the uptrend to come into play. So we're going to see if GN can do that for us. Got a new hour about to pop up in a few minutes. And like I said, I got a lot of stuff lined up, not just day trading wise, but investment wise, because there's a lot of ways to cook a steak, to fillet a fish, fucking tie a knot, all that good stuff. I'm gonna help y'all out with it. Help y'all out, y'all. Ferrari dropping all electric model this year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like y'all realize that a lot of times when they're talking a lot of shit about people, especially in the media online, it's to distract y'all from some other shit going on. Right? But like I said, like when I just put up the chart, all this tariff war shit's happening coincidentally after we hit all-time highs when everything and things are increasing. Right? Just like the news events. I tell you all the time, I got $5,000 right now. If y'all can tell me that y'all can list 5 jobs y'all worked at where when 8:30, 10 o'clock, FOMC popped up, and your manager ran into the room. Hold on, Howell's about to speak. Everybody pull out your phones, open up your portfolios, click, turn the TV on. It's never fucking happened, right? So that's what I'm telling y'all. When these things spike, when these motherfuckers want to read a piece of paper they just got 5 minutes before they went on TV, I'm telling y'all, it's not what y'all think. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's not what y'all think, man. I'm trying to tell you. But again, that's the main reason why rich people are freaking out. It's not because they lost money when things were traced. It's because they know that tax brackets and people are about to be moving up, right? And if everybody's rich, then the rich people get rich. It's like they play these games, they try to shame people for even trying to invest. It's a crazy world we live in. So again, y'all gotta stop believing the hype. You gotta really think, does this make sense? This millionaire isn't investing right. He's laughing at us and telling us not to waste our time investing. He's investing. Does that make any fucking sense? Right? Hey, don't do what I'm doing, but what I'm doing is making me money. But don't do what I'm doing to make money because you don't have money. So don't try to make money. Don't try to be like me, y'all. Stay where you're at. Stay in y'all's place. Don't try to be like me. How dare you try to fix your life and prepare for the future and retirement? How dare you try to do that? Who do you think you are? Yeah, well, these markets are just chilling right now. Like I said, we do got a 8 tomorrow. We're going to see what it looks like this next couple of hours. We do got 6 a.m. in about an hour, so we don't see any action between 6 and 8:30 pop off. we'll just have to see what happens after 10 o'clock, because again, we do got 10 a.m. news today. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Trump is doing the alley-oop, whether people understand or know it or not. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's just doing it just for people or other people, because I guarantee he's about to make a bag off this shit too. Right? So I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's just some selfish person. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you know what's going on, why can't you hop on the wave too? You know what I'm saying? It's just like when it comes to trading. That's why I always say it's no lions, tigers, bears, oh my over here. It's simply just following the flow of price and riding the wave, right? So, you know what I mean? But yeah, y'all. A couple things to do. Still gonna be on the charts. Like I said, price is kind of dead between 6 a.m. to 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's probably gonna be chilling up until the 10 a.m. news. Y'all appreciate y'all tuning in today. And if y'all didn't watch yesterday's live, I still suggest watch yesterday's live because we did go over a lot of good information in yesterday's live as well. Like I said, I got a new video dropping for y'all later on today, so make sure you're on the lookout for that. I'll bring you the rest from that. Exactly. All right, so that's why I said I always say there's two types of people in this world. And I also said, right, there's two types of people in the world, winners and losers. And, there's only, participation ribbons and trophies aside, it's first, second, third place. Everybody else losers, right? So that's why when we look into these comments, 99% of the comments are people talking about shit they know nothing about, or just spreading their projections and negativity and insecurities, right? That's why majority of the comments when it comes to trading videos or videos on how to make money online is majority negative comments. I guarantee if you call one of them out, which I've done before plenty of times, and other people have done, they will let it be known that they're just talking the talk. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So and day trading is no exception, right? Or the people that talk about day trading is risky or day trading is this, and that, they only tried it for 2 weeks, blew an account, gave up, or they never tried it before. And they're speaking just to speak. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all, we're going to be back at the same time tomorrow, 11 session, 3 a.m. EST. Peace, we out.